The Bold and the Beautiful scoop for Monday, October 20th, reveals Poppy Nozawa will issue a warning to Luna Nozawa. Also coming up, Steffy Forrester will reunite with John Finnegan. B&B spoilers tease Steffy will surprise Finn by returning home to him. She'll walk in the front door of the Cliff House with Kelly Spencer and Hayes Finnegan. "They're so happy to see you," Steffy will tell her husband. There'll be hugs all around as Kelly and Hayes jump into Finn's arms, and it won't be long before Steffy's in Finn's arms as well, and the couple will share a long-awaited steamy smooch. However, it won't be long before Steffy's joy at being home with her hunky husband is shattered into a million pieces. "Luna's alive," Finn will tell her. Of course, Steffy's going to be gobsmacked by this shocking news. She'll also learn that Luna's carrying Will Spencer's baby. Steffy may feel a little better, at least when Finn adds that the woman who held her captive in a cage for days and tried to kill her is back sitting in prison. But will she decide to confront Luna? Speaking of Finn's biological daughter, Luna will get a visitor on Monday. Poppy will show up and tell her daughter she's happy to see her back behind bars. She'll also taunt her for getting knocked up by a billionaire's son. "Well played," Poppy will say. No doubt, Luna will push back and remind her gold-digging mom that she targeted rich men the whole time she was growing up. However, Poppy will tell her daughter she's used up all of her get-out-of-jail-free cards with Bill Spencer. He won't be securing her a pardon this anytime soon. But will Luna have another trick up her sleeve? Hey B&B fans! Are you enjoying the latest CBS Sudser Beyond the Gates? Then make sure you join our free Facebook group. Keep reading the Soap Scoop, your source for the latest soap opera spoilers and B&B spoilers and news. And make sure to also join our B&B Facebook group. But if you miss an episode, don't fret. You can watch The Bold and the Beautiful online at usitcbs.com. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Bill Spencer may doom the baby custody case with a prediction that'll go wrong. There's a good chance Bill's about to make a promise he can't keep, so let's discuss any twists that might be looming. During the week of October 24th, Bill will offer some reassurance to Katie Logan and Will Spencer. When it comes to all the baby drama, Bill won't want Will and Katie to worry. As far as Bill's concerned, this custody case has already been won. The baby obviously hasn't been born yet since it's still early in Luna's pregnancy, but Bill will feel totally confident that they'll score a custody victory. Of course, Bill's confidence could spell trouble when it comes to the B&B storyline ahead. The fact that Bill's so certain could mean he'll actually be in for a rude awakening. If Luna gets off the hook on some technicality, this custody case may not be so simple. Luna might be able to keep her rights to this baby and cause even more turmoil in the process. That could force Bill to take drastic action to get Luna out of the picture, especially if he wants to make sure this baby stays safe and far away from her evil influence. However, there could be other paths to custody chaos if someone like Poppy Nozawa or Lee Finnegan fights for the baby instead. It's too early to say exactly how things might play out in court, but Bill probably shouldn't be so certain that everything will go smoothly. Even with Bill's money and connections, things don't always go according to plan, especially on soaps. A custody victory isn't a done deal yet, despite the confidence that Bill will bring to the table, so it'll be interesting to see if a shocker's brewing. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Luna's baby drama will bring some other wild moments, so stay tuned for updates on all the stunning news to come. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Will Spencer and Electra Forrester could have a bedroom fail coming up. Will Luna Nozawa haunt this couple's next passion attempt? Luna was taken back to jail, but that doesn't mean Will and Electra can just forget about her. Will is the father of Luna's baby, according to the DNA test that Bridget Forrester administered, so that'll certainly weigh on his mind. It'll weigh on Electra's mind too, as she tries to figure things out with Will. Both Will and Electra still love each other, but the fact that an unhinged woman like Luna is having his child is a huge deal. Nevertheless, B&B fans know Electra stood up to Luna before she was carted off to the slammer. It's clear that Electra doesn't want to let Luna dictate her life or push her around. Electra will do her best to get things back on track with Will, so that may include another round of passion in the bedroom sooner or later. Could that lead to Will and Electra's relationship taking another wrong turn? Electra understands that Will's a victim in all this, but she may not be able to shake her thoughts of Luna pouncing on him after the party. It's easy to imagine Electra freezing up in bed after envisioning Luna there, taunting them or something along those lines. Then again, maybe it'll be Will who can't shake all the Luna developments. Will's mind might play tricks on him and leave him imagining Luna is there with him instead of Electra. Back on that horrible night, Will was too drunk to know the difference between Luna and Electra since Luna wore his girlfriend's mask. That could haunt Will as he tries to reconnect with Electra in a passionate way. Now that Will realizes Luna is the one who took advantage of him and got pregnant in the process, he may struggle to truly move forward with Electra like he wants. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Electra and Will may have some other difficult romantic news ahead, so stay tuned for updates on their next hurdles. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the next 3 weeks, October 20th to November 7th, hint that Steffy Forrester and Luna Nozawa should be gearing up for a fierce face-off. B&B fans will also see some heartbreaking blows and wedding plans soon, so let's talk about all the action. The week of October 20-24 will bring another round of begging from Sheila Sharp, but Deacon Sharp will continue to push her away in favor of talking to Taylor Hayes. Deke Sharp will also voice more confusion over Remy Price's desire to keep his name quiet at Forrester Creations. In a prison visit, Poppy Nozawa will sneer over Luna's predicament and warn that Bill Spencer won't be playing Rescue Ranger again. While Bill works to convince Katie Logan and Will Spencer that their eventual custody win is already in the bag, Electra Forrester will have a moment of realization. There'll be some sort of epiphany for Electra involving Will and Luna, so the reality of their permanent baby tie may hit hard. Will Electra change her mind about her willingness to move forward with Will? After Steffy and the kids reunite with John Finn Finnegan, there'll be a tough Luna-related discussion. Steffy will reel over Luna being alive after all, and will insist she's not going to get off the hook just because she's pregnant. Thanks to Deacon and Brooke Logan, Hope may realize it's time to spell out her true feelings for Liam and get their future back on track. Carter Walton will concentrate on moving on with his life, and will make that clear to Daphne Rose when she questions him. During the week of October 27-31st, Hope and Liam may cement their romantic reunion. Some passion might erupt once Liam and Hope get honest about the new chapter they both want. As for Remy, his past will come back to haunt him once Deke and Electra grow closer. That friendship is bound to bring some stunning revelations since Deke's boyfriend is Electra's former stalker and tormentor. At some point, Steffy will likely pay Luna a visit herself, just to get a few things straight about her family and what she's willing to do to protect them. Luna may be safer behind bars considering all the people who could retaliate if she were to walk free. The week of November 3-7 may bring some happy moments for Beth Spencer following Liam and Hope's reunion decision. Beth might pipe up about wedding plans and hope she can get her parents to the altar ASAP. Brooke had a quickie wedding of her own, so she might push Hope to embrace being a speedy bride and kick off her renewed life with Liam. Regardless, things will be looking up in Hope's world both personally and professionally, as she gears up for a Hope for the Future fashion show with Deke's help. Sheila will also continue to fret over Deacon and Taylor's growing bond, so her jealous side could pose some risks. That said, we know Deacon and Sheila will celebrate Thanksgiving together later in the month of November, so maybe that's a good sign. The bold and the beautiful, spoilers say some big romantic developments are still to come, so stick with us for updates on any exciting news to come. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the next 2 weeks, October 20th to October 31st, reveal that Steffy Forrester will make a Luna Nozawa declaration, while Hope Logan runs to Liam Spencer and Deke Sharp ponders a puzzle. During the week of October 20th-24th, Steffy will come home to Los Angeles with Hayes Finnegan and Kelly Spencer, so they'll all enjoy having the whole family together again. However, Finn will ultimately have to deliver the worst curveball possible to Steffy when he admits Luna is alive and pregnant with Will Spencer's unborn child. Once Steffy gets updates on everything that's happened, she'll basically declare that she won't let Luna use her baby as a get-out-of-jail-free card. As for Poppy Nozawa, B&B spoilers, she'll get under Luna's skin during a prison visit. Bill Spencer will also tell Will and Katie Logan that they'll have no problem getting custody of the baby when the time comes. Later, Electra Forrester will realize something about Luna and Will. Could Electra have an epiphany about Will and Luna's forever connection being something she can't live with? After Sheila Sharp begs Deacon Sharp to reconnect with her, he'll end up scoring more marriage guidance from Taylor Hayes. Deke will also question why Remy Price acts so on edge about having his name brought up at Forrester Creations. It's clear that Remy doesn't want to be mentioned, so Deke will struggle to understand why. Next, Daphne Rose will quiz Carter Walton about Hope, so Carter will assure her that they're trying to get past the awkwardness and be friends. Will Daphne take that as her cue to make another move on Carter and plant a kiss? As for Deacon and Brooke Logan, they'll urge Hope to run back to Liam Spencer. It could lead to Hope making a sweet reunion pitch to Liam, who'll certainly be on board since he already suggested it. The week of October 27th to 31st should bring Hope's heartfelt words and could set the stage for her reconnection with Liam to become more official. Liam might even have a marriage proposal in mind at some point in the coming episodes. Deacon will also have to figure out if he can forgive Sheila's lies, so she'll try to convince him that there's a path forward for them as a couple. As Deke and Electra's friendship blossoms, Remy may hear the news about their growing bond and flip out. Deke doesn't realize Remy made Electra's life a total nightmare in the past. He should find out soon. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers say Remy and Deke's romance may be in jeopardy once the truth comes out, so stay tuned. Steffy's shocking return to Los Angeles stirs up buried emotions and unresolved guilt, while Poppy delivers devastating news to Luna about her dwindling allies. The Bold and the Beautiful's must-watch moments for Monday, October 20th, include Steffy's surprise return and Poppy letting Luna know that Bill won't save her this time. Steffy left after Luna shot Liam and tried to shoot her. She took the kids and got out of town. Since Liam shot Luna, everyone believed Luna was dead. Finn seemed relieved she'd died, despite the fact that Luna was his daughter. However, Lee secretly saved Luna's life. Of course, he learned Luna was still alive and causing trouble in Los Angeles. He agreed with the rest of the Forresters to keep the information from Steffy as long as possible. Bill was furious to learn that Luna had taken advantage of Will. Her rape resulted in a pregnancy, and of course, Will is the father. Electra called the cops, and Luna was rearrested. Steffy's homecoming brings tension and determination as she vows to keep Luna from tearing her family apart. Meanwhile, Sheila's pleas to Deacon fall on uncertain ears, and Bill insists the custody battle is his to win. The weekly The Bold and the Beautiful must-watch moments for October 20th, 24 tease that Steffy returns to Los Angeles with her kids and is determined not to let Luna mess things up. Meanwhile, Bill reassures Katie that the custody case is a slam dunk as Sheila pleads with Deacon, but he gets advice from Taylor. Tune in to CBS or Paramount Plus next week to catch all the dramatic moments in Los Angeles. Steffy, Kelly, and Hayes surprise Finn with their return to Los Angeles. Poppy assures Luna that Bill will not bail her out this time. Steffy is determined not to allow Luna to use her pregnancy as a way out of prison. Bill assures Katie and Will that the custody case should be a slam dunk. Sheila pleads with Deacon not to shut her out. Deke wonders why Remy doesn't want his name mentioned at Forrester. After a slow build-up, there hasn't been a Lope reunion. Did the soap leave their love story on a cliffhanger for Steffy to return? This week's slow-burning storyline involves Hope and Liam's reunion on The Bold and the Beautiful. Hope and Carter ended their engagement, leaving her to reunite with her ex-husband, but we haven't seen anything come out of that. Carter and Hope moved on from their relationship. During this week's show, they revealed that they're back to being friends, just like they started off. There was no bitterness or animosity between them. Carter is fine working with Hope, as if the past year never happened. The two were in a turbulent relationship that caused them to take over Forrester Creations. He fought to get back Hope for the future, and has no desire to go back on his decision. So far, B&B viewers haven't gotten to see Liam and Hope reunite, or Carter seek consolation from Daphne, who's in love with him. The last time we saw Lope was when Hope left Carter to be with Liam and Beth. It was because of Beth, not because of love, that they reconciled. Liam and Hope realized that they're better together. Carter could tell that Hope wanted to be with her family, so he did her the favor of ending their engagement. He removed the engagement ring from her finger so she was free to be with Liam. When Hope returned, Liam noticed that she was no longer wearing a ring on that finger. Did B&B dangle a Lope reunion after this slow buildup? If so, why? For some reason, their reunion is on a cliffhanger. Will the Lope reunion occur around Steffy's return on Monday, October 20th? Things are likely to change for Hope once Steffy comes back. The future of B&B's Hope and Steffy hangs in the balance. Though that they have feuded for years, they agreed to be civil for the sake of their families. As we all know, nothing stays the same for long in the soap world. Hope and Steffy's truce could spark new drama. Steffy's going to have opinions about what's going on, especially regarding Hope and Carter's breakup and Carter's decision to bring back Hope for the future. Her head will spin once she finds out that Hope and Liam are getting back together. Though she's happily married to Finn, she will likely have a say in the matter. This week's B&B video previews reveals a family reunion and a showdown between mother and daughter. The Bold and the Beautiful is pulling out the shock factor for October 20th and 24. This week's video preview has a character's long-awaited return, while another character could be planning a scheme. Here's a sneak peek of what's ahead. Finn is in for a treat when Steffy and the kids return. Kelly and Hayes rush in and hug their dad as Steffy smiles and says they're happy to see Finn. It's a warm family moment that later gets interrupted when Steffy learns about the recent family drama. The most important news that Steffy needs to know is that Luna is alive. Finn comforts Steffy after telling her about Luna, which has her more concerned than ever. Although Luna is back in prison, that's not enough to ease Steffy's fears. She knows Luna will continue to be a problem, one that needs to go away for good. Hope and Liam are officially back together. The two are ready to give their relationship a second chance and be a family with Beth. Although Hope is certain she made the right decision, she still has some fears given her and Liam's history. But luckily, her parents are there to help. This week, Brooke and Deacon offer their Hope some love advice when it comes to Liam. Open your heart up to Liam. Don't let him get away again, Deacon encourages his daughter. Will Hope follow her dad's advice, or are she and Liam doomed for more trouble? Last week, Poppy learned that her daughter Luna is alive. As expected, Poppy wasn't thrilled with the news. Poppy disowned Luna after her daughter's long list of crimes, including framing Poppy for murder. While Poppy doesn't want anything to do with Luna, she pays her daughter a visit in prison. Poppy confronts Luna about being pregnant with Will's baby. You got knocked up by a billionaire's son. Well played, Poppy says with a smirk. Poppy's reaction is strange, and one has to wonder if Miss Nozawa is planning another scheme against the Spencers. Perhaps she'll use her grandchild to worm her way back into Bill's life, or con him out of money. Whatever Poppy is up to, it'll be more trouble for the Spencer clan. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers and updates suggest that Steffy Forrester might be in favor of Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp. Steffy's backing of Deacon and Taylor as a potential couple could provoke Sheila Sharp, so let's explore how this situation could unfold. With Ridge Forrester having chosen to marry Brooke Logan once more, it's certain that he will encounter Steffy's disapproval and backlash. Ridge has shattered Taylor's heart yet again, and Steffy is poised to confront him about it, possibly telling him he will deserve it when Brooke hurts him again. Given the numerous romantic breakups Ridge and Taylor have experienced on B&B, Steffy might finally reconsider her role as their biggest supporter. She could come to realize that it would be in Taylor's best interest to move forward with her life and quit hoping to win him back. He's always waffled back and forth. As Taylor and Deacon grow closer, there's a real possibility for them to develop genuine feelings for one another, and that could be a good thing for both. While Steffy may not consider herself Deacon's most ardent supporter, there's a possibility that she could come around to the notion of their romantic involvement, especially if Taylor genuinely falls deeply in love. Ultimately, Steffy's primary concern is her mother's happiness. If Deacon is capable of bringing joy to Taylor's life, Steffy might just find herself in favor of this unexpected pairing. However, this could create tension between Steffy and Ridge, who is certainly not going to be on board with the idea of Taylor and Deacon together. Additionally, Steffy might inadvertently stir up Sheila's anger, so she'll need to be cautious and keep her guard up. Sheila is already seething inside when she sees Deacon and Taylor together, And Steffy could add to that anger. This situation could very well place Steffy back in Sheila's line of fire. Sheila has promised to ensure that nothing and no one disrupts her marriage to Deacon, which means Steffy is also in the crosshairs if she supports Taylor and Deacon as a couple. Steffy is bound to be furious about Sheila concealing Luna Nozawa's survival and won't hold Deacon accountable for contemplating the end of his marriage. Given that Steffy recognizes Taylor as a great match for Deacon, she might just admit that, which would undoubtedly infuriate Sheila. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, the conflict between Steffy and Sheila could flare up significantly, so stay tuned for updates on any concerning developments ahead. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers and updates tease that in spite of her pregnancy, Luna Nozawa could end up being attacked behind bars for real this time. There is a good chance she faked her own injuries the last time. But this time, there's a baby to consider. Is her baby at risk if she's attacked? B&B fans might remember that Bill Spencer showed compassion towards Luna during her earlier time behind bars. With a history of abuse, Luna persuaded Bill to bring her back to the Spencer mansion, where she ultimately found herself under house arrest until he was able to secure her pardon. When Deputy Chief Bradley Baker came to take her away again, Luna attempted to utilize that same sense of peril to her advantage. Even though Luna expressed her grievances and raised alarms about the safety of her unborn child, she was nonetheless taken away and placed back in custody. It was clear that Luna was saying anything in her power to evade the consequences of her actions, yet there might actually be some validity to her fears. Given that Luna appeared to have faced an attack during her last stint in prison, there is a significant chance that a similar incident could occur once more. This situation puts both Luna and her unborn child in genuine jeopardy. Electra Forrester is the individual who alerted the authorities about Luna, which means that Will Spencer may react with anger towards her if this situation escalates into a disastrous outcome for the baby. Additionally, Bill might experience a sense of guilt for not making a greater effort to ensure Luna remained safe at the Spencer mansion, especially considering she is carrying such valuable cargo. As this pregnancy progresses, it will increasingly become a reality, and the Spencers will undoubtedly grow more invested in the future of this child. Of course, we must also take into account the potential scenario where Luna might orchestrate a prison attack. It would be quite simple for her to form a friendship with one or two fellow inmates and persuade them to give her a bit of a beating. Luna could sustain just enough injuries to make this situation appear credible, yet not so severe that it would endanger her baby. This could very well be yet another cunning strategy devised by Luna to escape from prison and return to the comfort of Bill's luxurious mansion. Given Luna's track record, we certainly wouldn't underestimate her capabilities. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Bill Spencer may plan a grand gesture for Katie Logan. Will Bill make a new reunion pitch now that Luna Nozawa is locked up? B&B fans know Bill has already been dropping hints about getting back together with Katie, but she's been focused on their son. Will Spencer's life was thrown into turmoil thanks to Luna's surprise pregnancy. Luna definitely made a mess of things by violating Will and ending up with his bun in the oven. The paternity test results weren't what Bill, Katie, Will, and Electra Forrester wanted, but they'll all have to deal with the baby drama as best as they can. As for Luna, she was finally arrested thanks to Electra's phone call to the cops. Now that Luna has been taken back to the slammer, Katie and Bill seem relieved to have her out of the Spencer mansion. Bill and Katie delayed summoning the police, but that was a mistake since Luna's arrest was inevitable. Now that Luna is back behind bars where she can't hurt anyone else, Bill may ultimately tell Katie that it's time to focus on them for a change. Of course, Bill may assure Katie that they'll continue to be there for Will, who recently got bio-dad confirmation. Will and Electra will have issues of their own to work out, but Bill may have faith that they can get through this together. Likewise, Bill may argue that the silver lining of all this has been reconnecting with Katie and feeling like a real team with her again. This could easily lead to Bill planning a grand gesture for Katie, one that he hopes will win her heart back and convince her that they deserve a fresh start. Now that Luna is in prison once more, Bill may make another reunion pitch to Katie and really dial up the romance with a special evening. Whether Katie caves in or not, Bill could pull out all the stops and work to convince her that they're each other's destiny. The bold and the beautiful, spoilers say, Bill will hope to make some updates to Katie's perspective and get some positive reunion news. So stay tuned, SOSCs, where you want to be for sizzling bold and the beautiful spoilers, news and updates. So make us your favorite B&B hotspot. The bold and the beautiful spoilers are in for the week of October 20th, 2025. Fans can expect Electra Forrester to have an epiphany. Deke Sharp starts getting suspicious of Remy Price's secrets. Plus, Bill Spencer makes a bold prediction about the custody case. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Bill and Katie Logan. They don't want to abandon their blood, but no, Will Spencer isn't ready to raise a child. Bill thinks that the custody case will be a slam dunk. However, he could be surprised by Luna and Penelope Poppy Nozawa's next move. Over with Deke, he got the job as Hope Logan's new designer at Forrester Creations. While he is excited and has made a new friend in Electra, he will be suspicious of his lover. Remy asked his boyfriend not to mention his name at FC. Now, Deke is going to wonder why. It sounds like Deke has no idea that Remy stalked and deep-faked Electra. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the week of October 20th reveal that Steffy Forrester Finnegan returns from Paris. Steffy and the children will excitedly reunite with John Finn Finnegan. However, Finn will also tell Steffy that Luna is alive and pregnant with Will's child. Electra comes to a realization about Will and Luna. Meanwhile, Deacon Sharp gets more counseling from Taylor Hayes, Sheila Carter. Sharp will also continue to beg Deacon not to shut her out. It might be a little too late for that, though. Also, Daphne Rose interacts with Carter Walton again. The Nose will wonder what the status of his relationship is with Hope. The Paris perfumer already knows that Carter and Hope are no longer together. However, she might also notice that they still have a draw to one another at work. Daphne and Carter did enjoy that passion, but what happened after that? Why is the Nose bringing up Hope? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of October 20th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Luna Nozawa was just locked up on The Bold and the Beautiful and charged with kidnapping and attempted murder after the beach house shooting. Everyone is celebrating Luna's arrest. But what about Will Spencer's baby? The soap rumor mill hints there could be tragedy ahead for the pregnant serial killer. Here's what's coming up next on B&B. Spoilers down below. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers show that the Spencer family kept Luna at the mansion until the paternity test results were in, because Dollar Bill and Katie Logan didn't want their grandchild born in prison with poor prenatal care. But Will Spencer Jr.'s bitter girlfriend, Electra Forrester, went behind everyone's back and called the police on Luna Nozawa. Now Will Spencer's baby is going to be born in prison regardless, if Luna makes it 9 months without any medical care. This isn't the caveman era, so Luna will see a doctor while she is behind bars. Even prisoners get some sort of health care, but we have all heard the horror stories and know that Luna could give birth in a metal toilet in the middle of the night. Will's baby mama is early in her pregnancy, and a lot could happen to her bun in the oven while she is behind bars. One prison brawl could make Luna have a miscarriage. The soap opera rumor mill hints there could be a devastating end to Luna's pregnancy storyline if she remains behind bars. Luna could have a medical crisis and be ignored by the guards, or she could even be restrained and roughed up in the process. There's 1,000,001 things that could go wrong while Luna is pregnant in prison. Do you think that Luna will have Will's baby, or will she have complications in prison and lose the little Spencer? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. And keep checking back here on Celebrating the Soaps for more B&B spoilers, news, and updates. Luna's in jail again on The Bold and the Beautiful. Are we crying for her yet? Nope. But her equally loony mother was practically crying to learn Luna was alive. But those were not happy tears until Finn gave his ex-lover aunt some pertinent information. And so goes the week that was for our fictional Los Angeles friends. Let's dig in. Electra Forrester took matters into her own hands this week when she called Chief Baker and had him stop by to cuff Luna and drag her out of Bill's house kicking and screaming that she is now carrying a Spencer heir. So this just wouldn't do. Ridge was angry, Katie was exasperated, and Bill just blamed himself. And what about Luna's precious cargo? Welp, Katie is ready for another baby, her grandchild. We're guessing Luna's rape baby will now bring Bill and Katie back together, but we don't see Luna going down without a fight. And she is soon to have someone else on her side because, is it any wonder that Luna turned out the way she did? Yes, a bad childhood does not excuse murder, but she is the quintessential example of the apple not falling far from the tree. On her mom's side, Luna has, well, her mom, and on her dad's side, she has Sheila Carter. What a gene pool! We're not sure why Lee and Finn thought Poppy's reaction to Luna being alive would be any different from what it actually was. After all, this is the same woman who was relieved to learn her own child had died. Why would she rejoice to learn that wasn't true? Lee is constantly more and more appalled with her sister, but we're not because we know it's all par for the course. However, that disappointment soon turned to glee when Finn informed Poppy of the blessed news. They were going to be grandparents to Bill Spencer's grandchild. Dollar Bill Spencer, Dollar Bill Spencer? Well, that's just a horse of a different color, right, Poppy? The way her eyes lit up and that slight smile appeared across her face told us exactly what was coming. Luna is about to get a new best friend, as her pitiful mother uses this baby for all it's worth. And it's worth a lot. Go get him, Katie! Sheila Carter, who started her CBS villain career by stealing babies, is about to become a great-grandma, but she is also having some marriage problems, and they are actually taking precedence in her life and coming before Luna. That's some growth right there. Maybe, when Sheila saw Deacon hugging Taylor, that ominous Sheila music started to play, meaning we have to worry that Sheila will try to kill Taylor now, or something of the sort. Honestly, this all feels like B&B needing to do something with Taylor, and this is the best they could come up with. Speaking of Taylor, Brooke feels bad for Taylor, folks, which is rich coming from the woman who threw herself at Ridge for months while also throwing herself off a boat in the Mediterranean. She wasn't thinking about Taylor then, but now that she won this battle in this never-ending war, Brooke pretends to be altruistic. Spare us. Remember when it was Thomas who could always sketch whatever fashion Hope's brain could come up with? Well, Hope didn't even acknowledge that Thomas was in town last month, so we guess he can't read her mind anymore, or something like that. No, that job has fallen on her half-brother Deke, someone she never shared scenes with until last week. Hope's little brother, who should be her big brother, if continuity and show history were still things, is now the man who could bring Hope's vision to life. And don't forget, Hope doesn't actually design clothes. She envisions things, and a man is expected to know exactly what her eyes see in her mind. Is Deke going to have any sort of identity outside of being Deacon's son, Hope's brother, and recurring character Remy's boyfriend? Right now, it doesn't look like it. Finally, we still have no clue what happened with Liam and Hope. It's been well over a week, and all we know is that Liam saw that Hope was no longer wearing an engagement ring. What happened after that? Anything? Anything at all? At least we got one awkward scene between Hope and Carter, acknowledging that their engagement was off. So what comes next? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Lee Finnegan is far from done with this Luna Nozawa drama. In fact, it's really just getting started. Grandma Lee washed her hands of Luna after she learned about Will Spencer's rape. The good doctor let Bill Spencer cart her pregnant granddaughter away. No questions asked. But Lee Finnegan is still going to have to face the music for setting the serial killer free again. Here's what's happening next week on B&B, spoilers coming up below. Dr. John Finnegan will be horrified when he learns that his own mother is the one who faked Luna Nozawa's death and took her home to terrorize Los Angeles. This week on Bold and Beautiful, Lee will have to sit down with her son and explain why she saved his granddaughter. Bold and Beautiful spoilers say, and the odds of Finn forgiving his adoptive mom anytime soon are slim to none. But her son Finn should really be the least of Lee Finnegan's worries. Now that Luna Nozawa was arrested and taken back to prison, the cops are going to have questions. Like, first and foremost, why isn't she dead like Lee Finnegan reported? Patients don't just disappear from the hospital database. unless they leave the hospital or pass away. Lee Finnegan had to commit some sort of fraud to make it seem like Luna was dead, so the authorities didn't come looking for her. Then there's those potential aiding and abetting of fugitive charges. Plus, the Spencer family blames Dr. Lee Finnegan for their son's sexual assault. If Lee never brought Luna home from the hospital, she wouldn't have been able to get pregnant with Will Spencer Jr.'s baby. Will's family could push for Lee to be held responsible, at least by the hospital. Do you think that Lee Finnegan is partially to blame for Luna getting pregnant? Should she be charged by the police or lose her medical license? Sheila Carter is losing everything on The Bold and the Beautiful. Despite going above and beyond to be a good person, her husband Deacon Sharp is pulling the plug on their marriage. Will Sheila Carter go back to her old ways? Keep reading to find out. Here's what's coming up next week on B&B. Spoilers down below. You have to feel a little bad for Sheila Carter. After years of being a black sheep, she had a granddaughter who wanted to be in her life. Granted, Sheila needed a granddaughter like Luna Nozawa, like she needed a hole in her head. Despite trying to stay on the straight and narrow for her husband, Sheila knows it's only a matter of time before she is served divorce papers from her husband Deacon. The Bold and the Beautiful viewers know Sheila will snap if Deacon dumps her, and she also will have nothing to lose. If there's one thing Sheila Carter knows how to do on The Bold and the Beautiful, it's escape from his prison. One might even say she's a jailbreak professional. Since Deacon doesn't want anything to do with her, she might as well rescue her pregnant granddaughter from the slammer. Sheila is going to have a family, one way or the other. Do you think that Sheila will find a way to get Luna out of the prison so she doesn't have to give birth behind bars? Over the years, Sheila has had a history of baby swapping and trying to steal other people's children. Once the initial shock of losing her husband wears off, the villain will realize that there's about to be a newborn baby up for grabs. Will Sheila break Luna Nozawa out so she can raise her great-grandchild? The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for Monday, October 20th, reveal that Poppy Nozawa will visit Luna Nozawa. Steffy Forrester returns to LA. John Finn Finnegan has shocking news for Steffy. Poppy has recently learned that not only is her daughter alive and well, but she is also pregnant by Will Spencer. Poppy will go to see Luna in prison and confront her about her billionaire daddy. Luna at least pulled off something that Poppy could not manage on her own. Of course, if Luna hadn't told the truth, no one would have ever known that she was not Bill Spencer's daughter. Now that Luna is pregnant by Will, she certainly doesn't believe she should be in prison. Will Poppy help Luna figure out a way for Bill to move her back into his house again? Spoilers suggest that Poppy and Luna may join forces against the Spencers to get what they want. Is Luna about to get everything she ever wanted thanks to her mom? Steffy has been out of town for a while since a portrayer Jacqueline McInnes Wood was on maternity leave. Now Steffy is back home and over her ordeal with Luna. Steffy believes that she and Liam are both safe because Luna is dead and gone. After all, Lee Finnegan pronounced her dead. Steffy has no idea that Lee decided to save Luna at all costs and try to reform her. Lee wanted her granddaughter to have a decent chance at life and believed she could help Luna to turn her life around. Steffy is ready to settle into her home with Finn and the kids and get on with their lives. However, Finn has something that Steffy needs to know first. Finn had no idea that Steffy would be home this quickly. However, Steffy will come home with Kelly Spencer and Hayes Finnegan before Finn has a chance to decide how to tell Steffy the truth. Steffy leaves Finn no choice but to just blurt out that Luna is alive and that his mother is responsible for her survival. Will Steffy be able to live with the fact that Luna is alive after learning that she is behind bars? Bill has no intention of getting her out of prison, and Katie Logan plans to take custody of Luna's baby when it is born. All of this seems to be a bit too easy and very hard for Steffy to come to terms with. How will Steffy deal with this shocking news? Bold and the Beautiful taunts with Luna Nozawa, pregnant but arrested, and if there's any justice, she will spend the rest of her natural life behind bars. But that leaves the question of who will raise her and Will Spencer's baby. Even though Katie Logan already said she would, it might not work out that way at all. And I suspect we could wind up with a custody battle for this unborn Spencer spawn for a few good reasons. Alright, let's talk about who might make a grab for the kid. Obviously, Luna was stunned when the new life she dreamed of with Will just poof went up in smoke. Even though the DNA test said Luna is pregnant by Will, he does not want her. And Electra Forrester called the cops, and Chief Baker hauled her away no matter that she was begging Bill Spencer and everybody else to save her. So obviously, if Luna stays in prison, she can't be with her baby. And her jaw dropped when Katie Logan said she and Bill Spencer would be raising Luna and Will's child. But just because Katie said it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And as a matter of fact, Luna may not want that for her child. Even if she's in prison, which seems likely since Bill says he won't help her out, Luna may get some say in the matter of who raises her and Will's child. There are other people who may actually want to raise this baby, each with their own reasons for doing it. I will say off the cuff that despite this allegedly being Will's baby, I don't think he's going to want to play daddy to the kid because Luna got him drunk and molested him, and that's unpleasant. And I don't think Electra is going to want to be a stepmom to Luna's spawn, so I'm not even counting them as possibilities. But there are other interested parties, some of them more legit than others, but all who could make a case that they have a legal claim to this child with its father, Will, apathetic about custody, and its mom, Luna, locked up hopefully for life. First of all, obviously there's Katie and Bill as possible adoptive or custodial parents. He may want to do the adoption as Katie wants, because Bill may hope that it'll reconcile him and Katie and give them a new lease on life, but they may not wind up with the kid. Second, I suspect Luna's grandma, Lee Finnegan, may throw her hat into the ring. She may want Luna's baby to prove that she can raise it right, and so Lee can make sure the kid doesn't turn out evil like Luna or her awful mother, Poppy Nozawa. I'm sure Lee wants this child to be raised with good role models so that it has a sense of morality and good judgment. I mean, it'd be great if the kid turned out like Finn Finnegan, who Lee and Jack Finnegan raised very well. I credit Lee with all of that. And you know, Finn turned out great despite having Sheila Carter's DNA in his bloodstream. So Lee is somebody to think about. Another option to consider after great-grandma Lee is the kid's grandpa, Finn. He may also want to be considered as an adoptive or custodial father for Luna's baby for a few reasons. First, Finn didn't get to raise Luna, so this would be kind of a do-over. Second, Finn himself is adopted and he has a psychotic mom, Sheila, so he may see something of himself in this child's situation. Third, Finn may want the kid away from Bill's influence. I mean, Dollar Bill is a cheater, a liar, an attempted murderer. He's not a great guy, you know, and Bill got Luna the pardon even after she tried to kill Steffy Forrester, and that all led to this mess. So, we also know that Finn and Steffy are great parents, and I could see Finn convincing Steffy that they could save this kid from Luna and protect the child from her horrible influence. And if Finn makes the deal of, let's raise this kid, and I'll cut Luna and Sheila out of my life, not another word spoken to them forever. Steffy might go, okay, because she does like kids, and she adopted before, even though it turned out to be a stolen baby. So, we know she's open to adoption. A fourth option to consider is someone who may want to raise Will and Luna's baby for extremely selfish reasons, and that's Poppy. Of course, she hates her daughter Luna. And this week, when Poppy finds out Luna's alive, she even calls her the B word, which completely shocks Lee and Finn, although it shouldn't. But that doesn't mean that Poppy won't make a grab for her grandkid. Here's why. That baby of Luna's is a Spencer, and Poppy is a well-known gold digger on Bold and the Beautiful. So she might fight to get custody of Luna's kid so she can demand hefty child support from the Spencer family. Poppy might see that baby in Luna's belly as a payday. You know, Poppy's all about the money. That's why she tried to pass Luna off as Bill's kid. And if you remember, Poppy was pretending to be a chill hippie chick, but was actually thrilled to be living the cushy Spencer lifestyle with Bill. So yeah, I could see Poppy making a grab because she sees the baby as an ATM. A fifth option to consider, of course, is 8-toed Sheila Carter. She might want her great-grandbaby because it's her only link to Finn and Luna, who are most likely going to be out of her life for good. Steffy had finally softened up on Sheila, but now she lied and helped hide Luna. So, I think she's going to be on the outs again. As for Luna, she's probably looking at life in prison, and that means Sheila can't have her in her day-to-day life. So, she may want to get custody of Luna's baby to feel closer to her son Finn and her granddaughter Luna when they are both out of her life. But I can't imagine Katie or Bill wanting their grandkid in the hands and 8 toes of Psycho Sheila. And I don't think any judge in their right mind would give Luna's baby to Sheila. That doesn't mean she won't try to get her hands on Luna's kid, especially because Sheila might soon lose Deacon Sharp. So that's one big loss, and she may lose Luna to prison. You know, she can probably see her, but not that often. And I do think that Steffy's going to push Finn to cut Sheila back out of his life. So, this child of Luna and Will's could be all the family that Sheila has left. And if you remember, she does have some other kids, but when it came to Finn, she was cheated out of raising him. I mean, Jack basically strong-armed her into giving him the kid the same way that Finn was kind of deceived out of getting to raise Luna. So Sheila may feel like it's an opportunity for a do-over for her. So the bottom line is it may not be quite as easy as Katie thinks it will be for her and Bill to take that baby. There may be other people in the way, and you never know. Luna might have some say in it, and if she does, I would expect that she would prefer Finn or Sheila over, say, Lee or Katie or Bill, or especially not Poppy, who we all know did her wrong as a kid. Bold and the Beautiful gives some huge couple shakeups coming on B&B, and 3 new pairs that should rise from the ashes when other couples crash and burn. November Sweeps is bringing big romance for several characters. We're going to talk about how Taylor Hayes, Hope Logan, and Daphne Rose's lives are rocked by big changes that bring love to some and heartbreak to others. All right, the first thing we're going to talk about is Taylor. She has been a hot topic of conversation ever since Brooke Logan fell off that boat in Italy, nearly drowned, and came out of that crisis with a new old husband. Now that she remarried Ridge Forrester, we have seen Brooke concerned though, and surprisingly, it's Taylor that she is worried about. Now that Brooke has her destiny and her happily ever after, she is hoping that Taylor will also find her own destiny. The most bizarre thing is that destiny may be delivered because of Luna Nozawa's twisted return from the not-so-dead. In addition to messing up her own life and Will Spencer and Electra Forrester's lives, Luna's resurrection is messing up things for other people, including her grandma, Sheila Carter. She has now lost her husband, Deacon Sharp, moved out of their apartment, and he is thinking about walking away from her for good. So, they're really struggling. Deacon just asked Taylor if he should call it quits with Sheila. He's not sure that his wife has changed. He can't trust her, and Deacon thinks Sheila might snap and do who knows what. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers also say that Taylor is heading down a different path that could lead to a new relationship. And a different path means anybody but Ridge, right? So that could definitely lead her to Deacon. What's ironic is at first, Sheila told Deacon she thought him doing therapy with Taylor was great, because she's such a good psychiatrist that maybe she could fix their marriage. But then Sheila eavesdropped on Deacon when he was telling Taylor she is gorgeous and intelligent and so pure, and that Ridge is an idiot for dumping her. And then Sheila had to pivot, and now she sees Taylor as a rival. The bottom line is Deacon can't get past the fact Sheila lied about Luna being alive. Deacon is being very flirty with Taylor, and she is enjoying the attention. And then Deacon and Taylor shared a warm embrace, and Sheila saw it, and she wasn't happy. It was pretty cuddly and sweet for a doctor-patient thing. At the same time, Deacon's kids, Hope and Deke, were talking about how they wish their dad would find someone sane and nice and normal that has all 10 of her toes. I would be stunned if Taylor and Deacon don't spark soon. November sweeps start at the end of the month, and we might even get a kiss by then. I would be surprised if Taylor and Deacon move fast, though. I think first of all because Bold never moves fast, and also I think Deacon and Taylor would be on a slow burn to give Sheila time to freak out and plot against Taylor and make trouble. Even so, to me, it feels like Deacon and Taylor might have a real chance at romance, but we'll see. All right, next, let's talk about Hope. She got involved with Carter Walton way too fast, and she accepted a ring from him before Hope should have ever considered getting engaged to him. She was just talking to Deke Sharp the other day about her issues with Thomas Forrester, and she's kind of had a revelation about why things with the two of them didn't work out. Of course, during the coup when Carter gave Forrester Creations back to the family without warning her, Hope was crushed. She felt like Carter betrayed her. And then there was the whole Daphne kissing Carter thing. So Hope broke up with Carter. But then Liam Spencer pushed Hope to get back with Carter when Liam thought he was dying. And so when Hope found out Liam wasn't dying, Carter saw the writing on the wall. After sticking to his guns and fighting to keep Hope for just a little bit, we saw Carter do the gracious thing and he stepped aside. He ended his engagement to Hope because he knows she loves and wants to be with Liam, so Carter took his ring off her finger and he sent Hope to the father-daughter dance that Liam and Beth were hosting at the Logans. And although Liam noticed Hope wasn't wearing the ring, that's the last we saw. No kiss, no nothing. Liam and Hope have not officially reunited, but I expect it's going to happen in November sweeps. And in fact, they may just leapfrog. Ush, oifia. And we hear that a reunion happened off-screen because the teeny bopper pregnancy has taken center stage right now on the show. I expect that we will see them getting engaged, or hear that they're engaged. I'm wondering if we will have a Lope wedding in November sweeps because they decide they don't want to waste any more time since Liam's near-death ordeal reminded them that life is precious. That leads us to talk about Daphne. Now that they've added Muriel Hilaire to the opening credits of Bold and the Beautiful, I anticipate we will be seeing more of her, and that should come soon. And definitely more of Daphne with Carter. You know, Daphne has had her eye on Carter for quite some time now. Daphne even admitted that she had fallen in love with him when she came to town to overthrow him during the coup. So, Daphne was absolutely heartbroken when Carter went back to Hope after finding out about Liam's alleged brain tumor. Daphne was so heartbroken, she packed her bags and went back to France, but she eventually came back to LA. If you remember, Hope was worried. She didn't want Steffy Forrester to bring Daphne back, but now, Hope and Carter are done. So, it could finally be time for Daphne to get her man. Carter is split from Hope, and I bet Daphne gets her paws on him soon. And again, Carter ran to her right after he took the ring off Hope's finger. But we didn't see any official coupling up, so again, we may find out that they've been dating and they've been doing it off-screen. You know, Bold and the Beautiful might skip a few steps because they have such a limited amount of showtime, like 15 to 17 minutes a day. And that means only one storyline, really, maybe two, can be up front. We also know how much Carter loves to get engaged, so I would be stunned if she didn't have a ring on her finger soon, and Daphne and Carter make plans. It would be wild if we had a Liam and Hope double wedding alongside Daphne and Carter. You know, save money on the decorations and all that. Get them both married at once, and then they could officiate each other's weddings. So, we may also, speaking of couples, finally see Bill Spencer get that reconciliation he wants with Katie Logan, because this Luna crisis is pulling them together and she wants to raise Will and Luna's baby. So that could help Bill convince Katie to come back to him. And finally, the last person I'm wondering about whether they get a new relationship is Lunatic Luna. Now she knows Will may not never give her a shot. So will she find someone in prison? I'm not saying Luna's going to find true love behind bars, but maybe she hooks up with somebody in prison that can help her, a guard or something. That would be a page straight out of her Grandma Sheila's book. Like when she made friends with Sugar, and then convinced her to get look-alike surgery and then take her place in prison. I mean, it'd be wild if Bold did a redo of that. Luna is a big schemer, so I could see her getting her hooks into someone in prison. Another prisoner, a guard, the warden. Who even knows? So, Luna may get a new romance, or some awful new alliance. So we'll see how it goes in November sweeps. And just real quick, congratulations to Jacqueline McInnes Wood on the birth of son number 5. His name is Talon Rasplili. He was born in a home birth in her bathtub with his 4 brothers and his dad right there. It's a really cool name. I like Talon. That's kind of neat. All her kids have cool names, and we're going to have Steffy back on screen next week. But for now, congrats to the mom of 5 boys. Wow, that's a whole lot of boys. Poppy has an interesting reaction to Luna's baby news. In the October 17th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Finn tells Poppy that their daughter is still alive and she's carrying Will's baby. This could change everything about their mother-daughter dynamic. Finn met with Lee and Poppy at his office. He shared the news that Luna is alive and that her sister helped bring her back from the brink of death. Poppy was disappointed to hear the news. She exclaimed, "That little bitch is actually alive?" Finn looked confused. while Lee couldn't believe what her sister said about her birth daughter. Poppy asked Lee where Luna was hiding out now. Finn told her that she was in prison, which pleased her. Then, Finn had more news to share with Poppy. He sarcastically said, "We're going to be grandparents." Poppy couldn't take this information overload. But wait, there was more. Finn told Poppy that Luna was carrying Will's baby. Poppy had an interesting look on her face. When we were first introduced to Poppy and Luna, they seemed close. Their relationship grew tense when Luna wanted to know who her biological father was. She assumed that it was Tom Starr, who had a fling with Poppy about 20 years ago. Luna drugged and killed him, following his comeback show at Il Giardino. And then Luna killed Hollis, who was getting too involved with the scene of the crime. She framed both murders on her mother, who hasn't forgiven her to this day. Then again, why should she? Since Luna still hasn't taken accountability for any of the crimes she's caused. But that could change. Poppy could come around to Luna now that she knows she's carrying Will's baby. The cracks are starting to form in Poppy's facade. Her sister might be right. She might be a gold digger after all, and her daughter is following in her footsteps. Let's go back to that scene. Poppy seemed impressed when she learned that Luna was pregnant with Will's baby. She might welcome her daughter back with open arms so she can get a piece of the Spencer empire. Break bread with Sin's family and enjoy Il Giardino's cuisine this holiday season. The holidays are right around the corner, and CBS wants The Bold and the Beautiful fans to be ready for what's to come for the soap's Thanksgiving episode. Unfortunately, the entire cast won't be gathering at Eric's table, but Sin lovers will be happy to see their couple at the center of this year's festivities. Sheila and Deacon will also be playing host to two unexpected guests as the daytime drama focuses on family and new connections. Thanksgiving dinner at the Cliff House and Il Giardino will take place on Wednesday, November 26th. Steffy, Finn, Taylor, Kelly, and Hayes will be breaking bread with a surprise guest who's yet to be announced. We wonder if it's the second young family member that co-head writer Michael Minnis teased would be coming to town. Or perhaps the blast from Daphne's past, who's said to be making an appearance this fall. But the perfumer won't be spending the holiday with her friend. No, she'll be sitting at Sheila's and Deacon's table along with Carter. The couple, whose marriage has been on the rocks, extend an invitation that Daphne and Carter are surprised by. Carter is typically a guest at Eric's gatherings or Brooke's, but it's possible this year might be more than awkward for him. While Hope seems to be doing fine after their broken engagement, Carter's still smarting from the end of their relationship, even though he's been trying to smile his way through it at work. As for Daphne, this may be her first time stateside during Thanksgiving. The French don't have this holiday, so she could find herself at the Italian restaurant looking to pass the time. Bumping into Carter would be a happy accident. Spending time together during a major American holiday might bring them closer and could be the nudge they need to begin a romance. If they do, with Christmas just a month away, Carter may just get the romantic holiday magic he craves. Whatever happens, Sheila and Deacon won't be spending Thanksgiving by themselves, which they're sure to be happy about. They've always wanted to have guests to laugh and share stories with, and now they'll be getting their wish. The festivities at Il Giardino could be a sign of how their marriage is faring. The Bold and the Beautiful will have a Thanksgiving episode this year, which means fans can anticipate a heartwarming gathering. However, CBS's summary for the festivities may have spoiled fans about whether Deacon and Sheila's romance is still going strong. According to the episode description for Wednesday, November 26th's Thanksgiving episode, the spouses won't be separated for the holiday. They'll both be at Il Giardino and, out of the goodness of their hearts, they'll be inviting Daphne and Carter to eat with them. Check out the full summary below. Sheila, Deacon, Carter, and Daphne are an odd combination, but what stands out the most is that the couple is celebrating Thanksgiving together. While it's doubtful they'll have worked everything out by the end of November, it does seem like a good sign that their marriage is holding on. Deacon has been struggling over Sheila's decision not to tell him her granddaughter Luna didn't die. He despises the young woman because she murdered two of his friends. However, Sheila was hoping that Luna's second chance at life would inspire a change in her behavior. But alas, it did not. Choosing to withhold the truth, even though she did plan on telling Deacon the day he found out, has put a strain on their marriage. It's also opened the door to a potential romance with Taylor. Although Deacon and Taylor won't be at the same table for Thanksgiving, Rebecca Budig's appearance in the episode means fans could be in for some pining. Or maybe even a sneaky phone call. The writers have definitely been flirting with the possibility of the two being the next ill-advised relationship on the soap. Sheila already caught them in an embrace that looked a bit too intimate. Deacon has also made an inappropriate comment or two during his therapy sessions. If the plan is to slow burn them as Deacon figures out what he wants, Sheila and Deacon being together for Thanksgiving may not be the balm the two need to fix their marriage. It might just be a band-aid. We'll see as B&B slips toward Christmas whether the couple will be ringing in the new year together or parting ways.